Hi, in this video, I want to share with you 7 things I quit. And these 7 things I believe will help anybody have a healthier, a happier, and a more successful life in almost every way. And stay to the end because the thing that I think changed my life the most is what I'm going to tell you then. But let me start and tell you what I quit. First, I quit trying so hard to be like everyone else. Years ago, I would try to fit in wherever I was. And don't get me wrong, I try to be accommodating all the time. I want to be accommodating. But I realized that I don't fit in every place. I don't belong in every group. I'm not the best friend for everyone. And there are some situations that I simply don't belong in. So I stopped trying to fit a square peg into a round hole, if you will. I stopped trying to be like everybody else. I realize now that God made me an individual. That was intentional on his part. And he made you an individual. We're not alike. You have some gifts and I have some gifts. And we came here with a message. You came to the earth realm with a message. I came with a message. But it may be similar messages, but they're not exactly the same. And they'll never be delivered the same because we have different experiences and we have different personalities. So when I got to the point where I realized, Gail, you're not supposed to be a part of every group. You're not going to fit in everywhere. It's okay if everybody doesn't like you. It's okay if you don't like everybody. You're not going to like everybody. So just giving myself the permission to feel comfortable in my own skin and knowing that I'm a unique individual. God has put me here with a unique message. I have my own value system that it took me years to cultivate, based on what I believe is ethical, and that I need to be living in line with my values and not someone else's. And it's not about being a leader or being a follower. It's about being who I was created to be. So the first thing I quit was trying so hard to be like everyone else and to fit in every place. Next, I quit accepting, oh, this is huge. Please hang in here with me. I quit accepting romantic relationships with people who are immoral, unfaithful, and disrespectful. And I quit looking for someone who was everything I wasn't. Oh my God. I don't know where you are in life, but if you are allowing yourself to be in relationships with people who are immoral, unfaithful, and disrespectful, you are wasting days, hours, weeks, years of your life. Years of your life. None of us came here to be disrespected. None of us came here to be cheated on. None of us came here to be in an immoral relationship with anybody, honestly. I know that, we're living and we're learning, but if you decide, if you wake up one morning, and perhaps this isn't even you, but I know this is something I struggled with earlier in my life, is I allowed myself to spend years in relationships with people that I knew they weren't right. And oh my God, what a waste of time. I wasted their time and I wasted my time. So I wish I could spend more time on that, but you will be put ahead decades. You will gain back so much of your time and have so much more productive things you can do with that time if that is what you're currently doing. think about quitting. Another thing I quit is I quit allowing myself to spiral into anger, resentment, and blaming others or thinking I was a victim. For years, I would think about, all the things that had happened to me in my life that I thought was unfair, the mistakes other people made, what people did to me, and all of that. And for years, honestly, I didn't even understand, like, why did all of this happen? What's going on? But when I got to the point where I was mature enough to take responsibility for my own life and let those people off the hook, because let's face it, people generally who hurt you, they're not thinking about it. They're not worried about it. They're not giving it much of their time. They probably have forgotten about it if they haven't completely just forgotten about you. So when I got to the point where I could actually forgive other people and just go on with my life and say, okay, this is what happened, but that's not the end of the story. I'll tell you what really helped me in that area. I read a scripture in the Bible that said that no matter what happens to us, God always gives us a way out. So I said, that's interesting. Everything that happened to me, I had a way out. I had a way out. And it also said in the book of Ephesians that he's planned our life. So he's already equipped us to be everything that he created us to be. Now, granted, when we came here, God knew before we got here that we were going to have these challenges, these problems, and that these traumas would come into our life. He already knew that. So when I realized that I came here already with the equipment to move above that, wow, that was it. That's all I needed. Is none of that matters. None of that matters. I'm not saying that it wasn't unfortunate, but it doesn't really matter. I can still be all God created me to be, do all he created me to do, and have all he created me to have, despite all that stuff. All I have to do is put myself into perfect alignment with my assignment, and I can stop worrying about everybody else. So that was huge. I'm not a victim and you're not a victim, and we need to know that. And then next, I quit resenting my absentee father. I can't begin to tell you how many people I know personally who have been hurt, I mean seriously hurt, by their biological parents. Hurt emotionally, hurt physically, hurt in every way you can be hurt almost by their biological parents. And neglect is a very serious thing, and rejection, all of these things, they take a toll on a person's personality. And unless something happens to put them on the right road and to help them heal, it can really take a person's life off course. Their interactions with their core family and their nuclear family. So I quit resenting my absentee father. My father made the decision probably before I was born. He probably made the decision while my mom was pregnant that he didn't want to stay in the relationship. And so she raised me by herself, and I never met him, and he never came back to see me. I don't know what he looks like. I was told his name, of course. But that hurt me for many, many years. I was sad, and almost, I can almost say I was bitter about it. And it took me years to understand why someone would do that. And, forgiveness is available if, you have gone through something like that. And I mean, if you were on the father end and you walked away from a child, or you're estranged from a child. You know, God has mercy for those types of situations, and you know, he helps us through those things, and he helps us get back on the right track. But I just want to say that I quit resenting my father, and that took a heavy weight off my shoulders. Heavy. I've forgiven him, and I realized, as I have to go back and say again, I realized that I'm able to be everything God created me to be and do everything God created me to do, despite the fact that I grew up without a father. So that was huge for me right there. Another thing I quit doing is I quit ignoring my stress level, my exercise, and my sleep, because our health picture has a lot of factors. Our diet, I try to eat healthy, but sleep, exercise, how much water we drink, and just having a healthy social atmosphere, all of these things are important to having purpose in life. So I'm trying to live a more holistic life. And so this will bless you. Don't wait until you're mature to do it. Regardless, whatever age you're at now, whether you're 80 or 20, start now to take care of your health, because I promise you, you will need this body to do everything that you want to do in life. And then I quit being ignorant about my finances. Oh my goodness. Why aren't we taught finances in grammar school, high school, or even college? We aren't. We learn from our family of origin. And if we grew up in a household where our parents were struggling, like I was the youngest of 5 children, and we didn't have much. If you grew up in a house where everybody's struggling, then you don't learn much about finances. And so this will put you ahead, whether you're 20, 30, 40, 50. You can retire early if you want to retire. You can retire when you're 30. Some people retire are millionaires before they're 30. This happens a lot now. And certainly many people who had a nice career are retiring at 50. So you can have a wonderful life if you learn to become debt-free, stay debt-free, save, and invest. And one of the most important parts there is the investing. We don't put enough stress on investing. We've heard everybody say, oh, you need to make your money work for you. Don't work for money. Make money work for you. That's not a cliche. It is true. And if you start investing young, and you don't have to invest big, you can invest $50 a month, $25 a month, $5 a month, regardless of how old you are. Even if you're 80, you should be setting aside some saving and investing, even if it's just $5 a month in some type of fund or something like this. So we absolutely should be learning at an earlier age to pay attention to our finances and to invest. It makes a huge difference. Over the course of our lives, you could make hundreds of thousands of dollars more if you learn to be debt-free, stay debt-free, save, and invest from a very, very young age. And then this is the most important thing I learned. I saved the best for last. The most important thing that I have learned in my entire life that has really put me ahead, and I'm still working on it, of course. We're all on a journey. I learned to stop relying 100% on myself and to rely more on God. You know, the Bible says in the book of Jeremiah, God said, I will tell you great and mighty things that men don't know and can't know. And also in the Bible, God said, I will lead you and direct you. Why do we spend so much time and so many years making mistakes when prayer is available. We could simply ask God for what we need. We can ask God what we need to know. And will he speak to you in an audible voice? Probably not. But just because you've asked him, he's going to put an idea in your heart. He's going to give you a thought, a brilliant thought. Like, oh my God, you know, he will give you inventions nobody even thought about. And this is what I love about the Lord. Not only will he tell you how to do it, he will send people to help you and give you the money and the resources to do it. When he gives us an idea, he doesn't just give us an idea. He gives us everything that that idea needs. And so to spend years and years and years trying to do everything ourselves, come up with everything ourselves, this is a huge, huge mistake. And so I want to end by saying this. The day that I decided to find a local church and walk down that aisle and give my life to Jesus Christ, and then start trying to trust God more and more and more every day, that is the best decision I ever made. So God bless you. And if this video has been a blessing to you, please share it with those you love. And I'll see you in the next video.